Zhongli combo. Auto attacks, 30,000 damage. That's crazy.
Faro_TV.
Faro TV.
Faro FM radio.
Oh no, not Faro.
Hey guys, it's Faro here with exciting news this time. Zhongli, Daddy Zhongli is getting a huge buff regarding his HP scaling. That was the thing that a lot of people criticized about Zhongli, that hey, he's supposed to be that geo guy, well then make him, like his attack is lower than Xianling's, then make him scale with HP. And they just came out with some news regarding what they're gonna do in patch 1.3. Sadly 1.3, but hey, what it is. Now, I skipped the yada. They're like basically, I wanted to look a little bit more closely into it, blah, blah, blah. But where's the interesting part? It is the adjustment to the passive talent, Dominance of Earth. Currently, the passive talent does nothing but increase the damage of Planet Befall by 33% of Zhongli's max HP. Alright, but what will it do in the future? No worries, he won't lose the Planet Befall effect, but it will also scale his normal attacks and his DOMINUS LAPIDIS effect actually as well, and it increases the damage significantly. So first of all, normal charged and plunging attack damage will be increased by 1.39%. I have done a huge amount of math showing you right after we are going through the news, so you will see what that actually means inside the game. They are showing us some clips here. Those clips are obviously not perfect. We do not know what they have equipped. They seem to have like saying some insane of crit damage equipped also. I believe they're using Crescent Pike or whatever they're using, but during the attack combo, the attack damage varies by them either applying some debuff or buff. However, something that's interesting is that I tracked a little bit are the numbers of the continuous 4 times attack of the spinning spear, and it does seem to be the case that the HP trigger is actually triggered by every single one of them, because if you look closely, they're like at 85, then later at 100 damage, and on the other side, they are at, okay, those were crits, now we wait for the non-crit ones, 375. That is a huge damage increase. That can only mean that every individual little attack also triggers the HP bonus right now, and that is pretty damn great. Moving on to the resonance damage and the activation damage is increased by 1.9%. I do not actually even care about the damage when it places, because this thing is obviously there to do like continuous damage throughout the entire fight. But a nice thing is, if you do not have the maximum amount of those right now, then you will spawn one, and only if you don't have it right now, which is really great. So if you have a Constellation 1, you can place one, and after cooldown, use the shield and place another one. It also means, though, if you're like in a fight and currently want your shield up, you will not replace the Dominus Lapidis that you currently might want to have at this spot, you know? If you're like in a tight situation, you don't want to waste the placement of it somewhere else. So that could be really helpful as well. They did not change anything to the Planet Befall damage, which is fine. It's still the same. It's still 33%, because there was nothing wrong with the Planet Befall damage. Let's be real. However, there's a few. Okay, here we see like a little the effect really shortly, what it actually does. But yeah, there's also something really interesting regarding geo shields in general. Okay. The Shield of Jade, you know, is from now on resisting 150% to all physical damage and all elemental damage. Is there any kind of different damage? Normally, shields, if you pick one up and it has like, it's an electro shield, or if we look really quick, just so you understand how shields work, because I feel like most of you ignore shields, just go full DPS and then get one-shotted by child. Insane. Some shade right there, you guys. But if you place a shield, normally they work like this. 250% absorption effectiveness against pyro damage. So if we have a shield that absorbs 5000 damage, it would, if all the damage is fire damage, it would actually absorb 12,500 worth of fire damage. So this shield is extremely strong against fire damage itself. Previously, this kind of shield, the geo damage shield, worked the same. I don't even know if it's actually for Noelle, but the crystals you pick up, just for reference, yeah, there we go. 250 absorption effective against geo damage. However, not much geo damage in the game, you know, outside of the geo cube maybe, but no one has a problem with the geo cube. So that wasn't as effective. Now, every geo shield absorbs every damage, pretty much every damage that's incoming by 150% shield. That means every geo shield is around the globe 1.5 times as effective against any incoming damage. Unless I'm missing something, why are they saying physical and elemental damage? Is there true damage in the game and I never noticed? But it seems to be the case that you could basically say that every geo shield from now on has an additional 1.5 times multiplier. And that's pretty damn great as well. And they're actually saying that this is a thing that will be regarding more shields. Oh, one last thing on that. Let's finish the shields. The shields that are no longer have like 250% geo damage reduction, but 150% physical damage and elemental damage absorption, are the Zhongli elemental shield, Noelle's elemental skill, you know, and geo shield created when picking up geo crystals dropped by geo bishop hatchlings. So I'm a little bit that's like my only confusion so far. The only thing that I'm confused about is what will the crystals that drop do? Will geo crystals that drop from a geo resonance now still absorb 250% geo damage, or will they also in general be 150% against all? I believe they will still be 250%, which is then it would be an extra buff, let's say, if they would do the 150% against all kinds of damage. It seems to be that depending on what our Dominus Lapidis is reacting with, if it drops the Electro Shield, this Electro Shield will still do 250% Electro. And if it drops the Geo Shield, it will still do 250% Geo damage absorption and not all damage absorption. Alright, now getting into the math, okay? Never mind, one last thing. That was crazy to me because I already believed the Geo Resonance to be the best one. Just because of the knockback resistance. But here we also have an increased effect. The shield strength is now increased by 15%. Just added. Characters protected by shields will have following special characteristics. Damage dealt increased by 15%. Dealing damage to enemies will decrease the geo resistance by 20%. That means we'll get some extra debuff for that planet that will throw down on our enemies. Not only for that, but also all of Noelle's ultimate sweeps that are dealing already about 5,000 damage for me. So that's pretty fucking sweet. I think people were sleeping on that resonance already because they didn't like Geo characters. But if you have like Geo characters, I would say hands down, best resonance right here. Tell me what you think about it. But now to the math that I prepared. Damn, this is taking long, but it's a lot of information that we have to like. Okay, let's actually make this for this sake a little bit bigger here. Don't need the background for that. So I've done some math. I sat down with a few samples of stats. So I decided make it realistic, achievable, that it's not too hard. So I'm considering here for the most part a Geo artifact, a Crit artifact, and Crescent Pike as a weapon equipped. And that's important for the math in the future. I also will though like go into what change would a physical attack artifact do. So generally we're speaking of 30,000 HP, 1800 attack, 50% crit rate, because we have a crit rate artifact, very easy to achieve with the headgear. And crit damage of 85%. I want you to take those with a grain of salt in terms of your stats will most likely be better than this. Just saying. I think those are more than achievable. What does that mean for the additional damage? 417 attack on every, okay, on every little auto attack. Now, Zhongli attacks 9 times, okay? 9 times is what he attacks in his combo. You know, when you go with like a, like Diluc and he goes woof, 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 this takes ages and he attacks very less. So triggers like that on someone using a spear are way more effective than on someone that would use a slower weapon. That is something you have to keep in mind. Dominus by 570, Planet Befall by 10,000. Okay, it might be not 10,000. I pretty much did as if it was 33% point 3 period, you know? But maybe you have 30,000 and 5 HP or whatever. So, just so you know. So that means all of those numbers added, you can check those numbers. I'm not gonna read them out, that's fucking boring. All those numbers added would do a raw damage of almost 8,000. However, we're gonna use that number assuming that all of those triggers on like the spinning spear individually triggers the HP bonus damage. That means we get 3 times more to 417 in, which is I think what happens when I'm looking at what they have shown us in their official announcement. At least that's what I'm dissecting out of it. You can't definitely tell me if you think otherwise, but this is the number I'll be using from now on, and not this one. So we're at 8,796 damage. Xianling, outclassed by far. Before this, same stats, Xianling would do more damage than same stats Zhongli. And here you can see in comparison now, Zhongli does about more than 20% damage than Xianling. And that means almost 2,000 more damage in a full combo, which obviously gets even more once all the multipliers come into effect. And I'm not even using all the multipliers in this one. This does not include any Crescent Pike effects or the geo resonance damage increase by 15% when I have like 2 geo, because I always am running Noel plus Zhongli, so I would get something extra. And also the Crescent Pike effect has not yet happened. So that would be extra damage again. And there's, I mean, you all know there's lots of other stuff that you can trigger with, but I wanted to keep it kind of raw. So that does mean in a full, in Crescent Pike build, you know, with the headgear being still geo damage, we would do in a full combo with full crits, with those crit rates of course, and crit damage, 21,887. However, the average crit would be that every second attack would crit with a 50% crit rate, so we would be at 16,563. And if we do this with a physical damage artifact, we would come to 30,000. Like Zhongli combo auto attacks 30,000 damage. That's crazy, okay? So, and there you see the difference. Xianling would only do like 6,000 damage less with this kind of build. That means now a guy that is supposed to be a support has all those amazing effects, does more damage than someone who's, I mean we're using Xianling. People back in the day said I should use her as a main DPS. Tons of misinformation about this game out there. But yeah, he does much more damage than her already, okay? As I said, does not include those effects. Though here, my favorite, I know people don't think it's that great, but my favorite ability kind of is Dominus Lapidis. I love to place an object that just lasts and I just can't pick my nose while it does damage. How much damage does it do now? Here we're using what I am wearing, a geo damage artifact, which does 46% geo damage increased. Then we also have the set item, Pedra, 15% geo damage increase. and Zhongli passively gives 28.8% geo damage increase to a total of, 90.4%. Okay, that means it triggers on level 6, by the way. We're all gonna get it on level 8 now, I know. But currently level 6, not needing any materials from child boss fights. We would be ending up with a raw damage of 1376 for every pulse, constantly. And with geo damage, it would be 2619, just passively triggering through the entire fight. 2 of them, obviously double damage. If it crits, we're at 4846 damage. Remember, again, with those stats that we focused on, while not being very high. Okay, so those could be higher. Just saying, because a little bit of a focus on HP, it's a little bit all around. But by the way, I know you guys have an awesome HP percentage item lying around because they intentionally make those HP drop. The HP percentage things are constantly dropping. So I need to go a little bit off the side to the side here. Or I'm just like moving it a bit. Easy. Now I don't have to go to the side anymore. Alright. So with 4846 damage for every pulsating thing that crits. And we could have 2 of them. At least that's... How am I going for that? Alright, Planet Befall, last but not least. Nothing changed. We're doing 45,000 damage. What the fuck did I write here? That was like a... something like that. And here we have 84,000 with a crit. Pretty sweet, I'd say. Don't you think? Like, I think it's pretty sweet with this kind of... I recommend still Geo headgear. And I also actually now recommend an HP percentage stat item just because he's going to be your fucking daddy. He's gonna stay. He gets 6 shields that scale just because of it. Just because. With 150%, you know, extra fucking shield power. All of this is... The damage overall of every ability except his ultimate is increased quite a bit. Very drastically, if you ask me, for the pillars. You know, big fucking pulsating dicks in the middle. That's fucking nice. And yeah, the auto attacks obviously scaling a shit ton here. You know, that's almost the 1.5 increase of his auto attack damage. I'd say I'm gonna definitely make myself a Christmas present and gonna get myself second constellation Zhongli. The next champ in my summoning will be another Zhongli, guaranteed, because I got a Chi-Chi before. That means I get that second pulsating pillar, and I'll be getting that shit. Yeah, I'll be getting that shit. If you want to see the summoning live, definitely follow my stream on Trovo. Otherwise, I might actually also upload it to YouTube. Looking super forward to that. Obviously, we have to wait now till all those comes in effect. And we also cross our fingers that they don't nerf that. Because this is obviously not the final version. They just announced that till 1.3 that could change. And all the people out there who are like... We're like jerking off to like high DPS characters and then constantly die in the game when I co-op with them. They're still probably still complaining that Zhongli isn't strong enough. Keep going, yeah, idiots. I'll take it, man. I'll take it. I'll take it. Get the stats even higher with your complaints. Until then, I am super satisfied with this. I hope we will be able to make some cool fucking content with the buff Zhongli. Until then. Man, goodbye. Thank you very much. This was almost 20 minutes, but I didn't really try to make it longer. I'm sorry, but I think it was informative. I did sit down, make all this maths. Quick maths. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Pharaoh out.